he dropped out of school early to become an apprentice with his dad. But as he started to grow older, he developed something called the 5-hour rule. And what it was 1 hour a day he devoted to learning. He was a constant lifetime learner. And what he did was he woke up early and he took an hour to either read or to write something. So whatever was on his mind or whatever he wanted to get out or whatever was part of a project, that's what he did. The next day, he set goals and tracked his results. Day after, it says, the hour he took was when he created a club for like-minded artisans who wanted to improve themselves, but also to improve the community around them, which I thought that was quite honorable. The next day, he turned ideas into experiments. So things that were on his mind, I thought, oh, what if I can do this? Let me go and have a try with that. And we all know he was a great inventor throughout his life. And then the next hour, it was said, is that he had reflection time about what he'd done in the morning and what he'd done in the evening, and questioned himself, was that really where he wanted to spend his time? So my question to yourself is, what do you do? What do you think about your LifeWave business? What do you think about it? Now, a friend of mine was the CEO of quite a large privately held company, and he took it, as he tells me, from maybe like $2 billion a year up to $4 billion a year. So he was very well thought of, a lot of acquisitions and so on. And I interviewed him once for a project that I was on, and I said, what's the day in the life of a CEO like? And he said, well, when I get to the office, I get my coffee, I shut my door, and I sit down, and I put my feet up. I said, oh, really? Why would you do that? He said, well, my job is really to think and imagine. My job is to steer the company, to understand what the dynamics are around us, so where we're going to be in the next 5 years. If I come up with an idea, I will get it validated, I'll build a case, and I'll take it to the board, and they will either support it or shoot it down. So they either make funds available, and if they do, that's the course that we go off to get to where I believe the market has the opportunity for us to be in the next 5 years. I said, how did you get into that frame of mind? And he said, well, I learned how to do it. Every day I read something. Every day I tuned my mind up to understand what people in similar roles were doing. And when I first met him, he just come out of college. He was a chemist, and he worked in a factory, and he worked shifts, and he ran a small team. But then he evolved and moved on from that. So we can all learn new things. Now, I'm going to get a little bit personal here. I had two heroes growing up. One was John Wayne, and the other one, the most significant one, was my dad. And he taught me to dream. He taught me to do things in moderation. And he would always joke with me, what if I do this? What if I do that? And he said, that word if doesn't mean anything. Make it will, or when, or how I'm going to do something. And he introduced me into an English poet by the name of Rudyard Kipling. I think he was the poet laureate at one time. And he wrote a poem which incidentally was called If. Now, Desiree, can I play this? Because this has probably been the blueprint of how I've tried to live my adult life. And it's very poignant. There is a purpose to the poem, and I'll come back to that. So I'm going to see if I can play it. And please humor me with this.
Malcolm, there's no sound.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I could hear it.
Yeah,
nor
I
talk
can
to
as
you
well.
about it. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose, and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except will, which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
It was better when you were broadcasting it, when you were sharing. It was easier to hear on my end. I don't know about everybody else, but
Well, anyway. Uh, it was supposed to be sharing the sound, and sorry about that. But the purpose of the poem is really to impart wisdom of how to live up to the ideals of manhood. And at that time, in Britain and the empire and everything, there were certain standards and so on. This can be well applied to current times, whether it's manhood, womanhood, whatever otherhood. Um, you know, there are so many things going on. There are so many influences around there that sometimes it shakes our confidence in the way we do things. So I would say, ask yourself why you're in this business. Ask yourself what you want to do with this opportunity. And ask yourself then how you want to influence other people. Stand fast, live with yourself. You made a decision, and so many people that I know and I speak to and work with, they say, "Oh, my friend or my sister or this are always saying, don't do that thing or whatever." Those parade rainers. And I always say, ask them if they'll pay your bills for you. Probably they won't. So it's your way. It's your decision. And also say then, look, if things go well, keep it to yourself. Shut up about it. Be humble. If things go badly, also don't stop believing. Also shut up. Keep it to yourself, but use it as a motivator to drive you forward. And either way, whether you're doing really, really well, those are the things you want to multiply and repeat and share and teach others. And if things are going badly, well, there's time for reflection. There's the time to get back to some of maybe the daily behaviors, some of the learnings. So candid conversations with yourself. And Kipling makes a point there of don't let thoughts drive you. Thoughts are there to give you some creativity, but they're not the whole thing. So like my friend who was the CEO, he would think for so many hours a day, but the rest of the day he would act upon it. So think about action. And think, are you committed to what you're doing? Really, really committed? Is your armor chink proof? Can you resist the negativity from those around you? And if there is negativity, do you feel confident in distancing yourself from those people? Because at the end of the day, it's yourself is going to be doing the work. Yourself is going to be getting the rewards. The self is going to be success or failure. And that's our own. That's personalized. And then the final thing that I want to talk on about is that a tool, for many, and I went through this at an early man, wondering what to do, how to do things, building that resilience of positivity and building that I can do this. And I walked away, I listened to some guru talking about, I walked away from a blah, 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 big job and wherever. And I thought, wow, now he put that into perspective. I've done that 3 times. Wasn't always the smartest thing to do, but I had to live with myself. And a lot of it was driven by the things that were instilled in me by my father and by that particular poem. Now, we can always learn new things. And that's what I'm saying about constant learning and daily behaviors. And Earl Nightingale said, you become what you think about all day long. But I worked very closely with a guy called Jeffrey Gitomer, a very prolific sort of sales writer. And he says it's your thoughts behind the words you speak that create your attitude. And he wrote a whole little book. It's called The Little Yellow Book, The Little Yes, or The Little Gold Book of Yes Attitude. And if you've got one in your library, I'd pull it out, and he says one thing, I just flip this open. He says, people who are cocky and arrogant say, I know that, and they move along. People who are confident and positive ask themselves, how good am I at that? And then seek to improve. Now he goes in here about talking about constant learning, and how negative people are worse than negative occurrences. He said the argument is over 10 minutes. The person may hang around for years. So again, let's be selective of what we're going to choose to be with, to be around. Because when it comes down to this business, many times we're on our own. And many times we can think, this isn't working. Maybe I'll stop. I'll give up. Whatever those thoughts are, they're micro-quitting. You will get what you want from it. And it's good to take action. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that today or whatever. It'll be too difficult. Nobody's going to respond to me if I post something out on Facebook, or I'm going to phone these people and no one's going to answer or whatever. We micro-quit. And those things become habits. So he's saying, start your day like Benjamin Franklin with good behavior. But at the end of the day, drain your brain. Before you go to bed, take your notes, take your worries or whatever, write them down on a piece of paper next to your bed. And I highly recommend these. You can find a used copy of this out on Amazon for like $10 or whatever. This is almost as significant as that poem by Rudyard Kipling. Now I put I thought a little fun thing for this last couple of minutes, just to you know, a little things to bounce those arrows of negativity off our armor of positivity. So I'm going to see if I can we play bingo, Desiree? And
Sure, why not?
okay, I want if someone out there can give me a number between 0 and 76.
45.
45. I got to put my glasses on now, but I'm going to find this. It's in here somewhere. And what I've got is 76 different slides all about from this book. And so see if I can share the screen. And what does 45 say? Whoop. Okay, let's close that down. Let's go back to the meeting. Oh dear. Well, my ninja skills for Zoom are failing me. Oh. Are we still there?
We are still here.
It's not letting me get back to the meeting. Oh, sorry. Let's go there. Share screen.
Yeah, you're back. Okay, you're gonna share.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Reading is fundamental to self or to attitude, self-awareness. Is that on the screen, Tom?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So, reading, as I'm saying, it's fundamental to attitude, to understanding, checking your pulse. Where am I? Am I doing these things? Am I good at these things? Can I repeat them? Can I teach them to others? Are they replicatable? That's the cornerstone of our business. Another number between 1 and 76.
14.
14. Positive attitude is attractive and contagious. Who would agree with that?
Yes, you are.
Isn't it nicer to hang around with people that are upbeat? If it's raining, they've got an umbrella. If it's really raining, they've got those rubber boots. But they're not worried because they know the sun's going to come out again. Or is it better to hang around with people that believe it's going to snow next?
We had that yesterday.
Oh,
Here
well.
in Minneapolis.
All right.
But we don't care. It's
in May.
yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
All right. Next number.
19.
19.
Yes, 19.
19. There's going to be a winner in here somewhere, I'm sure. Okay. Positive attitude is the foundation for everything. It's the mood you're in when you drive to work. Who still drives to work?
A keyboard.
Yeah.
Driving a keyboard.
Who likes the 30-second commute down into the basement or into the spare bedroom? This is great. Okay. Next number. I'll do a random one. Does your attitude set the tone for the people that you deal with? So my mom always used to say, look, you're going to get back what you give out. Have you ever noticed if you were grumpy that day, you kind of hang around with grumpy people? Or if you're happy, you tend to attract those people because they want to get out of their grumpiness. They want to it's unattractive for them to be with grumpy and down people. So it's the tone that we choose. And this is a cornerstone piece of communication. It's how we look, it's how we act, the raise of the pitch and intonation of our voice. It's the words we choose. It's what we put on. It's how we cut our hair. There's those little places under our shoes that we use the shoe polish on so people can't see the dirt. This is all about attitude. This is all about putting on our suit of armor and getting out there and being unbeatable and unstoppable. And whatever you believe in, you know, putting stuff out in the universe and getting the right vibrations back or whatever, try it. Have a week where you're just going to be as gloomy as you can and see what happens and who you attract. And then the next week, flip it and just be this shining sort of rays of sunshine that unicorns bathe themselves in. Okay, one final number. Oh, we did that one. There's a chance. Stop blaming your blaming circumstances for your situation.
That's a good one.
That's the thing. Look, I was speaking with a famous TV celebrity and writer and, you know, coach and all of this thing, and he says he was telling a story about making decisions. He said the ability to make a decision is cornerstone and fundamental to any entrepreneur. And he said, I know, I've made decisions that have cost me millions. I've gone bankrupt, but I have never, ever regretted a decision I made. And if I make a decision, whether it be quick, I never think now that I've made a bad decision. Or have I made a right decision? Because if I make a decision, I'm going to make it right. So don't worry about making the right decision, make it right. This is a learning thing. We're going to do things that are going to work for us, things that maybe don't work for us. But whichever way it goes, be positive, have something you believe in that you can share with others. Don't be down if it doesn't go well, and don't be too enthusiastic when it is going well, because that can off-put others and make them feel less. But keep doing what you're doing. We've got something fantastic here which the world needs to know about, and the chances of us getting it out are going to be greater when we are the people they want to hang around with. Thank you, Desiree.
Thank you, Malcolm. I think I'm going to have to get that book. I've never heard of it before. Great book. Oh, and
Awesome.
nice little concept of playing bingo. That was really, I've never done that before. Great idea. So anybody have any questions for Malcolm? It's a good time to pick his brain, if you want to call it that. He's got a lot of knowledge and expertise up there. Alexis, do you have any questions? I guess that's a no.
That was a great, I just want to say it was a great message, Malcolm. Wonderfully delivered. Thank you.
Yes, agreed.
Well, thank you. Now, you know,
It's really nice when we have participation, you know, like Tom was chatting in the box and a couple other people chatted. It's really brings a lot of energy to the group when we do that. And Malcolm, I know it took some time to put all of that together for us. And we want to really, if everybody can unmute themselves and thank Malcolm for his hard work and his wonderful.
Thank you, Malcolm.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
but
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're
You're
the
quite
man.
an inspiration.
As I opened up, it, you know, once I got my thought pattern together, it took 10 minutes because I knew the subject. I knew where to find the pieces. And we can do this in our businesses when we're prepared. Well, thank you,
Yep.
everybody.
How
And
could I?
Well, thanks a bunch. I called in to listen. Appreciate it.
How can Mr. Malcolm? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
I
can hear you,
can.
Alexis.
I told you not to get me started. You know how I am.
Go ahead. It's
I'm
okay.
about
though.
to find out.
I'm an extremely positive person.
Good.
And every single thing that you just said resonates with how I try to start my day every day. And I hope and wish that maybe Desiree or yourself could come back and give us like a real a longer session or maybe several sessions or something if he's willing to. I don't know. I don't know if you do this as a part of besides LifeWave, if you do sessions or interviews, or if you do master classes on what you have just done.
Let me put my number in the box here. And
Because I work with many people and I am a very positive person, and every single word that you said is how I try every day to do and for other people to try to get them to do. And it's so hard.
Yes,
Nobody wants to
yes.
listen.
Malcolm is, I was talking to him earlier today and he suggested something. I said, okay, I'm going to try to do that on Thursday or Friday. And Malcolm said, well, when would today be a good time to do it? So he's a total inspiration for sure.
Yes, he is.
well, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
My info is
You're
there.
welcome.
Please reach out. It costs nothing to talk. And, someone said to me the other day about procrastination. And I said, I just want to be a procrastinator until I decide to turn pro.
Oh, God.
That's good, Malcolm.
Terrible.
Okay.
Very,
Hey,
very fulfilling. It's
I'm
very
here
fulfilling.
all week, Okay. All right. Desiree, thank you so much. If there's no more questions, I'll move along.
Okay, so I do want to thank you again, Malcolm. I want to make a couple of announcements. So this week we have energy patches 15% off, which is a nice little sweet deal for everyone. And also next week we are going to have our very own Ron Ledford, who is at the very top of the ladder. He is our team leader, and we're very blessed to have him come on our Zoom, as he really doesn't do that. So he has made an exception, and I'm really happy about that. He wants to see our team grow and expand, and as we know, he has a lots of experience. So without any other announcements from anyone else or any questions, I guess we can say goodnight. I want to let you know that Malcolm, that was incredible, and anyone who would like to touch base with him, he put his number in the chat. I saved the chat, so when I put it in the Patch Power team, you should be able to see his number. So thank you and good night, everybody. I believe in you. Y'all have great.
Night all. Patch.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.